But there's been an American nightmare that has accompanied that, and that's where people that equally have tried to get educated and worked hard and had good habits have found themselves living a life that's been on the edge throughout their entire lives, and the same for their children.
Most people live in a nightmare instead of a dream, only because they don't know the simplest rules of getting out poverty. In this video, the legendary Warren Buffett will tell you about the 5 main financial traps on the way to wealth and how to avoid them. Suppose you have $100 in your bank account. If you think that equates to the fact that you can afford to spend $100, that's poor man's thinking. Zero balance thinking is a wealth killer. Remember, income is not what determines if you are rich. For example, Warren Buffett lives the life of a person with an income of about $100,000 a year, even though he's the 5th richest person on the planet. And on the other hand, if you make 50 grand a year and spend 50 grand a year, you're broke. Even if you make 200,000 a year and spend 200,000 a year, you're still broke. So the first thing you need to do is create an emergency fund for unexpected expenses and investments. Buffett always insists that Berkshire Hathaway should have capital reserves on their balance sheet so that their business is ready for any emergencies. But don't try to save too much right away or invest a big part of those savings. Start small. Take a look at how long it's been since Buffett invested in his first stock.
On this March 11th, in a couple of weeks, it'll be 77 years since I bought my first stock, and I paid $114.75 for 3 shares of City Service Preferred.
I don't look to jump over 7-foot bars. I look around for 1-foot bars that I can step over. With these words, the billionaire calls to be patient and gradually increase your savings over time. Most people are enslaved by unhealthy money habits, such as overspending, lack of savings, not paying bills on time, impulse buying, lack of financial literacy. All of these habits may seem insignificant on their own, but over time, they can accumulate and prevent you from getting rich. As Buffett says, if you buy things you don't need, you'll soon be forced to sell things you need. Living beyond your means involves spending more money than you can afford. This can lead to long-term financial problems.
So my advice to you is if you can't pay for it, don't buy it, and get yourself in a position where you can pay for anything.
A simple trick called the Rule of 5 will help you deal with these payment traps. It says that if you can't buy 5 things with your cash, then you can't afford that thing. For instance, if you have $50 you can spend in your pocket, you can't allow yourself to buy things that cost more than $10. Buffett pays special attention to one of the worst financial mistakes, the pursuit of a flashy lifestyle. The grim reality is that social media shows people who look rich but in fact are not. On this matter, Buffett once said, "Only when the tide goes out do you discover who's been swimming naked." Some of these pseudo-rich people even get into debt in order to seem successful on Instagram. Therefore, one of the richest people on the planet urges to avoid the flashy lifestyle. Live within your means and stay away from credit cards.
The other one is from people who run up credit card debt, and they're facing bankruptcy, or they've been through bankruptcy once before, and they owe a whole bunch of money, and they can't even pay the interest, let alone pay any principal. And half of my letters come from people like that, and that problem is avoidable. Catastrophic illness is not, but credit card debt is something you bring on yourself, and it's way better, it's way easier to stay out of trouble than to get out of trouble financially. And I will guarantee you, if you run up big credit card debt, you will be in trouble probably the rest of your life in terms of your financial situation. On the other hand, if you get ahead of the game, even if it's on a very modest scale, so that money is coming in from investing, people owe you money or equities owe you ownership, you'll be way ahead of the game compared to paying it always paying your creditors every month.
Look at Buffett's lifestyle. You'll never see a brand on his suits. He eats cheaply and still lives in his very first house he bought. You can follow in his footsteps and buy only those things that you really need. At the same time, make your fortune. You could easily deal with the previous 3 unhealthy habits if you had a financial plan. A financial plan is a roadmap that summarizes your financial goals and his steps to achieve them. These plans will help you understand your current financial situations, set priorities, control your income and expenses, and stay on the path to financial independence. This plan should be concrete and simple. Buffett made his financial plan as a child. In 1943, Warren told a family friend that he would become a millionaire by the age of 30 or jump off the tallest building in Omaha. As you can see, his plan works. Eliminating the aforementioned financial traps will allow you to avoid poverty. However, to become truly rich, you must stop ignoring investment opportunities. Compounding is the magical effect that takes money and grows it at an exponential rate.
When we get chances to deploy the capital, we've always tried to make any entity, whether it was the partnership or Berkshire now or Blue Chip Stamps when we owned it or even Diversified Redeemed, we wanted them all to be compounding. In effect, be compounding machines.
However, to master this magic tool, you need to understand two terms that Buffett knows better than anyone else. Assets, something expected to increase in value over time. That is, these are things that you buy and they start putting money in your pocket. Liabilities, something that costs money to maintain and expected to lower in value over time. These are things that drain money out of your pocket only. A poor person with $1,000 will buy liabilities. Cars, gadgets, entertainment, jewelry, or other things to seem rich. A person who strives for wealth will try to invest this money in a company's stocks, real estate, or cryptocurrencies in order to get much more over time.
We both had a fair amount of experience in real estate, and Charlie made his early money in real estate.
For instance, 1,000 invested 40 years ago in S&P 500 would turn into 78,000 today. So don't underestimate the power of compound interest. But the most powerful investor asset is, of course, their brain and control of emotions. And other videos from our channel will help you a lot in working on this. Like this video, subscribe, and improve yourself.